Patriots, go Pats. Yeah. Stupid Steelers, down. We're gonna beat Atlanta in 2 weeks. Super Bowl, New England Patriots. Yeah. Hi everybody, it's Emily. I hope you all had a fantastic week. I know this video is coming to you guys a little late, but I had a lot of stuff going on this weekend, and I'll talk about some of that. The big this thing, well, obviously just happened, which you saw at the beginning there. Patriots won, yay, and they're going to the Super Bowl, which is awesome. Of course they are. Come on, they're the greatest NFL team ever. Let's be honest. But yeah, super exciting. I love my Patriots and I love football, so I'm very excited about that. Um, the big thing that happened is that faculty and students came back at my work. Being I work for university. It was a big moment because I was already out to my staff members and my fellow coworkers. However, the faculty and students really couldn't be told like right away. Like you can't really get the information across unless I worked with them a lot. So when it came to faculty and students, I was a little worried about how this would come out. I mean, like, would people just stop and go, whoa, what happened? Like, what's going on? I wasn't sure how it'd be received. But it ended up being a much different situation and reaction than I expected. 75% I've had faculty and students think I'm just new to BU. They don't realize of who I used to be. They think I'm completely new. They just think I took my own place. So it's a little shocking, especially since some of these people I've helped a lot. And not only that, like, I used to see them on a daily basis, or like a weekly basis at least. There's some faculty and some, students and stuff who I see a lot, and staff members who I see all the time that, of course they know, and they're being very supportive, and it's great. But it's just shocking that, like, apparently I look this different, I guess. And, one of my coworkers like, well, yeah, you look like a girl now, and you didn't before. And, yeah, that does make sense. It's just, like, I thought, in my own mind, like, I didn't think I looked, like, that different that, you just saw me a month ago. I didn't think I'd, change that much. But, yeah, it's been a big shock. I've had people go to my office saying, like, oh, I haven't met you. What's your name? Is your name Emily? And, like, stuff like that. And I'm like, to be honest, I've been playing along with it. I just been saying, sure, and nice to meet you. I'm Emily. I feel like it's almost better that way. I don't need to out myself to them. I don't need to explain myself. If they don't remember who I am, that's fine. They can get to know who I am now, which is more important to me anyway. I mean, I even had somebody ask me, like, oh, is Sean not here anymore? Did you replace him? And I was like, sure, yeah, I'm new. I'm Emily. How are you? And just like, like, really? I helped you so much. But yeah, it's definitely a very surprising reaction. And very not expected. And the other thing that kind of actually had a with that, there's been some good stuff too that's been happening. Not that that's not good. That is very good. I'd much rather take that than anything else. I had a faculty member who was very nervous about telling, and like I got an email from him and said like, good for you. Can't wait to see you next semester. I was like very generic. I was like, okay, this could be anything. Who knows, But he gets there and he looks at me, an older gentleman, and he like goes wide-eyed and smiles and then like hugs me. Which, I wouldn't expect that. And I was like, you're hugging me. This isn't like the type of person I know you are. What's going on right now? And my coworkers were like, yeah, if that bothers you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was fine. I understand. Like, he just wanted to express that he was happy for me, and I accept that. But hopefully it doesn't go more than that. I don't think I need more hugs. But yeah, I was just kind of like blown away. Like, I was super scared of telling you. Like, one of the people, I was kind of nervous about his reaction on it. And here he is, like, super smiling and hugging me. It just threw me. It really throws your perspectives of what you think certain people are going to react and how they're going to react to something like this. And it's more like you can't judge a book by its cover. And more so, I thought I kind of knew him. And, like, I mean, the way he teaches is definitely, like, you know, harder on students, and he's down to the point. But I guess when it comes to other things, you can't really judge somebody by that. So that was a huge surprise. The other thing I wanted to touch on was the Women's March here in Boston that happened this past weekend. That was definitely something that happened this past weekend. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually march, and I really wanted to. It was something I've been looking forward to, but I have to reschedule my electrolysis because I'm going to first event next weekend. And I'll be posting about that as I'm there. So I'll be going to first event next weekend, so I had to switch my electrolysis to this weekend as well as I had therapy in the morning. But I did watch. I had a little time in between, not much, but I had a little bit of time between my therapy and electrolysis to watch the march, which is great because I had a bunch of coworkers, friends, you know, everybody, my roommate, everybody was there, and they marched, and I wish I could have done it. I felt really bad I couldn't do it. But it's great watching it and just what it stands for. I know there's been a lot of, at least I've seen from people I know, mixed reactions to it about, like, oh, it's just, you know, it isn't for women, it's against Donald Trump. Well, I mean, if you're for women, I don't know how you can be for Donald Trump at this point. I know I hate going into politics, but this is a man. I can't even call him a man. This is a person thing, whatever, that I don't even want to get into it. Let's just say that he is for a lot of stuff that I am against. I don't agree with his treatment of women, what he says about women, how we, you know, it's not, this isn't just like, oh, well, you know, that's misconception. No, I mean, there's physical evidence, there's video evidence, there's everything kind of evidence. If you think it's appropriate for a man or anybody to talk to a woman like that, you need to check yourself. You really do, because, I mean, it's never appropriate to do that kind of stuff. That's inappropriate sexual harassment. That's everything under the sun. And yes, it was a women's march, but it was also in accordance with other minorities like LGBT and trans, and, you know, people like me as well, which is why I really wished I could march as well, because I am not only a woman, I am trans, and that's part of my identity now. And, like, as much as, like, I want to blend in and I want to be, you know, feel like I'm normal, I am trans, and I'm proud of that. I'm not ashamed of that. And the things, you know, that right afterwards, you know, the White House already took down the LGBT rights, you know, issues on their issues. It's no longer an issue for them. You know, these civil rights isn't an issue for Donald Trump. Like, you know, he sees the forgotten people or forgotten men and women as upper class, middle class white people. Like, the only reason you feel forgotten is that other people are now gaining the rights that you have. They're trying to gain those rights. It's not that you're losing any rights, it's that they're gaining rights. I could go all day about this, but I'm not going to. What that brings up for me is that since I've, you know, come out, and it's only been like a month since I've been full-time, and I've been doing this, you know, for a while, like, especially not at work, though. Even in work and other places now, I've definitely seen the differences, and the way women are represented and the way women are treated, even subconsciously. Like, especially, I mentioned that there are people who have thought I'm a new hire, or there's people that, you know, don't recognize me or don't assume I'm trans and don't know my background or history. Usually the people who do, I mean, especially my coworkers, I would never get it from them. They've been great, and some of my biggest supporters. But there's been other people where, like, you know, just little things of contradicting me, or in a certain ways, like, not valuing my opinion as much as, like, I feel like they used to. I feel like when a student came to me for help or asked for something or so on and so forth, other people, my opinion seemed more valid and validated last time. Since now, there's been a couple instances where I kind of just get, oh well, yeah, that won't. I don't know if that'll work. Yeah, yeah, and I never used to get that. I used to just get the, well, yeah, 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 yeah. That's great. That's smart. We'll do that, or like I'll work with that. Like, but now it seems like I've gotten the, and it's only happened a few times because students haven't been back that long. Um, where it's like, oh well, maybe I don't know. Are you sure about that? And like, it's almost like I work in the technology field, and now, like before, I had presented myself as a man, even though I was really a woman and I knew all this stuff. But now that I'm presenting myself as a woman, it's like, oh, maybe you don't know as much, but I still know the same. It's based. They're taking my gender and using that as a reason why I wouldn't know as much, which bothers me. I had the same thing happen with about football. Like I'm a huge football fan, as you guys know, and like I was talking to a guy online once about football, and he kind of treated me like I was an idiot, and I hated it. Um, I was just talking about football, and I was trying to I was like, yeah, I love football, like blah 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 blah, and he's like well that's cute, and he caught and he just he kind of denounced when I tried to talk to him about certain plays or something, like he just completely shoved it off, like you don't know what you're talking about, kind of thing, and that's bugs me. I feel like as a trans woman, you have an interesting way to see this kind of stuff and relate to this kind of stuff because you go from kind of seeing it but not really experiencing it to seeing it and experiencing it, and it's just it really opens your eyes sometimes too. Like I said, I would never change the world for what I am right now. I love it so much and I'm so happy, but it's definitely an eye-opening experience seeing how much women are really just not looked at equally as men as much as people like to think they are, or like certain men like to think they are. And yeah, it's definitely been an eye-opening experience, and it's been happening slowly. And as I've been full-time for the last month or so, I noticed that going all the time, you see it more, and it's gonna happen. And it sucks to say that, but I'm sorry, with a president in the White House who kind of justifies it, it's not going to get any better. And I think that's one thing that needs to change as well. So that's just my opinion on that. But in my experience I've had so far. But yeah, we're actually going a little long, so I'll let you guys go. I will talk to you guys next week at First Event, which is really great. I can't wait to be there and talk to some people and meet people, and it's going to be fun. So I will talk to you guys about how that goes. Yeah. I hope you guys have a swell week, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye. Go Pats.